Hello and welcome to Aging Matters. This is a show that's provided by and sponsored by the Berks County Area Agency on Aging. My name is Ann Barlet and I'm the host of Aging Matters. We have two guests with us today. I'd like to introduce first, to my immediate left is Vicki Weidner, and she is the Director of Shared Ride Services with the South Central Transit Authority. Welcome, Vicki.
Thank you.
Next to Vicki is Greg Downing, and he is the Executive Director of the South Central Transit Authority. Welcome, Greg.
Thank you.
Thank you both for taking the time to be with us. We have some great information to share with everyone today about public transportation and services that are available here. What I wanted to first clarify, if I may, is that the South Central Transit Authority is the management organization that oversees both the BARTA services here in Berks County and the Red Rose Transit in Lancaster. And so we're going to focus obviously on the programs and service specific to Berks County. And prior to starting, I wanted to just share with you all that in our governor had declared that we needed to kind of look at the state of Pennsylvania as we are aging, and what do we need to do over the next 10 plus years and map that out as a master plan for aging. And he, so all of the area agencies on aging in the counties had what they call listening sessions. And we got a lot of feedback from people both in person and via online about needs and services that we need more of or revamped. And one of those, obviously, that keeps coming back is transportation. So I'm so happy you could be here today to talk about what we currently have and maybe what might be thinking about or stewing about in the future with some additional funding, perhaps, with our growing population. So first, I really do want to start with Greg. And on that note, I know you have some information a little bit about fundings. Can you share a little bit about maybe where we're going with that, looking at Pennsylvania and transportation funding?
Well, it's great that the governor's budget outlines that the need is vast regarding transportation and providing access to people. Mm-hmm. So in the budget, just giving a little bit of history, for the last decade, there has been no increase in public transit funding. Oh, wow. So in it, you know that all types of things have gone up, from fuel to cost of labor. All of those things have gone up, and we've tried our best to maintain a level of service that is conducive for all of that. Mm-hmm. So I'll say that the governor's budget is a happy and welcoming site for us in being able to continue to provide that access that we do now and growing the access for individuals with not only disabilities, but for our older population and for all the residents of Berks and Lancaster counties.
And so, do we have any specifics with dollars or specifics in terms of what we think we can do with those dollars, or some ideas in the future plans?
Yeah, as far as what we've done, we have a transit development plan that is just wrapping up. Okay. So that looked at all of our services that we currently provide and said, kind of for the next 5 years, what are you planning to do? So one of the things that has come up and is a big need is there is a shift in the number of people who are older that are using our buses. So from a shared ride perspective and from a fixed route perspective, we're talking about going into new areas, into access for new areas, Birdsboro, and also some other areas of concern have been that there is a population that would need not only shared ride and fixed route, but there's a small population that might use what we now call microtransit. Microtransit is basically instead of a door-to-door service, it's more of a curb-to-curb service that would allow us to It's a cheaper alternative to shared ride,
Okay.
and it's more expensive than fixed route, but it's kind of, it has a place. What we're finding is it has a place. So now what we're analyzing and looking at are those areas that might need added service, that might need more for on time, for access, and for availability. So those are the things that we're looking at on the horizon regarding the governor's budget and regarding the increase that he's proposing for transit.
Good. Oh, good. I'm knock on wood. That's coming. Because again, I think some of it, we sprawled out of the city where we have decent routes, and we can get on and off at different places. And then as we sprawled out, and those that are older now and maybe giving up licenses or not driving where they used to, still need to get to the various places, the daily grocery, the grocery stores, the doctor's appointments, hair appointment kinds of things, and what's the options? So thank you. I appreciate that study. I think it's necessary, and hopefully, knock on wood, the funding comes along with it, right?
Yes. We're all hoping. Fingers crossed.
So let's talk about, Vicki, I'm going to turn the tables now to you. And I know that there are, as Greg said, we want to continue the services, and whether they're expanding or not, at least provide information about what is available here in Berks County, how to access that, what is required to do so. So simple, we heard Greg say something about the fixed route bus service. So let's just start with maybe what some of us all know is I hop on that bus and off, right? So tell us about the fixed route services.
The fixed route, we have 21 routes in Berks County.
We do.
Did I say that right?
Yeah.
So they are set routes that operate every day, certain times throughout the day. It does not change.
Okay.
Other like the share ride service. So the fixed route, senior over 65 can actually travel for free. They can apply for the share ride, the senior ID card, and that is a program that's funded through PennDOT. So seniors 65 and over can ride for free.
So I go through PennDOT.
Well, you can get the application at BARTA.
Okay. Oh.
Or
okay.
also on our website, bartabus.com. So you have to show your proof of age in order to get that transit ID card. That transit ID card is actually accepted throughout the state of Pennsylvania also.
Oh, all right. Oh, that's
So they
nice.
can travel
so if
free.
you're visiting somebody
Right.
else in another area, then
In Lancaster,
okay.
York, any county will accept that
Oh, that's great.
ID
So
card.
so we can hop on and off the fixed routes that we can find where we go and where do we get on and where we get off. There's a cost for that if you are not 65 and older
Correct.
and have this ID. So what's the cost approximate? I don't know if it changes from route to route, or obviously if you're changing.
It doesn't change per route.
Okay.
It's a set cost. You can buy an all-day pass. You can buy a 10-trip pass. Also, there's a 31-day pass.
Oh, okay. So if I go one time, what approximately? What should I
Well-
have in my hot little hand?
Well, if you're going to do the all-day pass, it's $3. The
Oh,
regular
okay.
fare,
$1.80.
$1.80.
$1.80. Is that, and that's like one way, or
Yes,
is that
that's
how that
one way.
works? Okay.
One way.
And so, okay, as I mentioned to you earlier, I am used to the change that I put my 35 cents in the top of
there.
the little thingy as I got on the bus and heard it click, 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 cling. Is that, how do I do it today?
You can still do that.
Oh, okay,
You
I can take my $1.80 and do that.
You can
okay.
still do that, but there's also now a new thing, the Smart Pass, where you can purchase rides on that and upload that to your pass.
Oh, okay.
And you just
So I can
swipe
put
that
any
card.
amount on, like if I
Yes.
think, okay, I'm gonna do this, I can, okay. All right.
We also to add to that, we have mobile ticketing. So everybody nowadays has a mobile phone.
Okay.
So you can download the app and use the app to pay for your fare. You can get schedule information on there. So
Oh, well,
we
that's
are we're moving
You're
in that
going
way. Yes,
tech,
we are.
Modern world.
I gotta get with the. All righty, very good. And so the 65 and older individuals, though, as long as they apply and get that ID card, they can come and go
Correct.
for free. Okay. So that's kind of the general fixed route. So then I understand, and I'm not sure if there's much of a distinction, but there's a shared ride, and then there's a senior share ride. Is that correct, Vicki?
It's just a different program, but it's all used with the share ride service, which is share ride service is a door-to-door service, main door. The drivers will assist the consumers from the main door, but not up to like a third floor of an
So
apartment
like if they're
building.
apartment complex,
Yes.
the rider must come down to that door?
Correct. Now, the senior share ride is, there's an application that the senior has to complete and also submit a valid ID as proof of age. That's a requirement of PennDOT. PennDOT pays 85% of that trip cost, and then the senior pays the 15% of the
And
trip
when you
cost.
say senior for that, what is that age?
65 and over.
Okay, so 65. It must be
Yes.
65.
You have to be 65 for the senior share ride program.
And so I have to show that, fill out an application, make sure that I can show my ID that I am 65 and
Correct.
older. The application is where again?
The application's available on our website
Okay.
at bartabus.com. Also, if they visit our website, there is a link there to apply, Find My Ride. That's a PennDOT program where they can actually click on that link.
Okay.
They enter their driver's license, or if they have a PA state ID card, they can enter those numbers. That goes to the Department of Motor Vehicle. It verifies their age. They push the button, boom, it goes right into our computer system.
Okay.
So it's a lot quicker for the consumer to apply that way, and also for, you know, our office staff, it's less work on our end.
Sure, and
But-
more efficient and quicker. And then the ID comes to the person mailed directly? Or how?
That is for the share ride service. If they apply
So they
for
have
the
to show
transit ID card through that way, we would mail the ID card out to
Okay, so
them.
the shared ride services.
They don't need the ID card.
Oh.
The ID
okay.
card is just for the fixed
They
route
don't
bus
have
service.
anything to show.
Right,
per
they don't
se.
have anything to show for
Okay,
that.
all righty. So the senior shared ride, so they have to be 65 and older, fill that out online or whatever. And so then so you have to be out to the door. I'm assuming it's a smaller bus. Where can I go on shared ride? Like, why would I use that
You can-
versus say the fixed route?
You can use it for any trip purpose. Visiting, shopping, medical, hairdressers, we do any type of trip purpose. It's not limited to any type of reason that you're traveling, visiting.
Okay. So let me ask you this. I think in one of our discussions of the listening sessions, so it's really coordinating everything, right? So if I want to go to the grocery store,
Correct.
and I'm eligible, I did my whole application, got
Yes.
and I got on the little bus and I got off at the store, they're not going to wait for me, right?
Correct.
So how do I come back home when I'm ready to return?
You can call when you're ready to go, or you can pre-plan, hey, it'll only take me an hour, I'll be ready to go home in an hour, and we can schedule the return
I mean,
right away.
typically, you kind of know, hopefully you have your list and you know what you're getting. You're not, dilly-dallying
Right.
unless you run into friends or something.
Or you can set it up that you call. So sometimes, because you don't, what if it's busy?
Right.
And you do get,
Okay.
you don't want to miss the vehicle if you schedule a time. So we do allow you to call when you're ready also.
Is there a restriction in the number of trips in
No.
a time frame, like a month, a week, or?
No, not even a day. As long as you
okay.
schedule them ahead the day prior, there's no limit on how many
Wow.
trips or where you can go.
So I can pre-schedule a weekly hair appointment.
Correct.
And then my monthly whatever, doctor appointment or something.
Right.
Okay.
If you go to the hairdresser every Friday at 10 o'clock, we can set that up that you don't even have to call to schedule it. We have a thing
It's a
with the
routine.
system that's called subscription, and it will automatically every Friday generate that trip for you.
Nice, okay. Oh, I like that. Okay. So are there, I guess I should ask if there are restrictions. It's door to door, so I have to be able to obviously be at my front door, walk to that transportation unit, mobile bus unit, and back again. So
Right, the drivers
no
will
assist-
assist you.
Oh, they will,
They
okay.
will assist you from the main door, yes.
Oh, okay, all righty. And then there is another program called Medical Assistance Transportation Program.
Correct.
So then, let's talk about that, because I think we all think, oh, well, BARTA only takes this, we can get medical appointments, but, so, tell me about that, and then maybe how that compares to that.
Sure. The
shared
Medical
ride.
Assistance Transportation Program is another state program. We are the grantee for the Medicaid program. So we are required to provide the least costly means of transportation for anybody who receives Medicaid in the state of Pennsylvania and Berks County. So we screen the calls Number one, if the person has access to a vehicle, they can receive 25 cents a mile for mileage reimbursement to their approved medical providers. If they do not have access to a vehicle and they live within a quarter mile of the fixed route buses and their medical providers within a quarter mile of the fixed route bus, we give them a bus pass to go to all their medical providers.
Oh, okay.
If they would have a disability that they cannot use the fixed route bus, or they do not reside within the quarter mile of the fixed route bus, then they would receive the share ride services, the door-to-door service.
And so because it's a state program and Medicaid related, what's my eligibility then for that?
As long as you have an
I'm on-
active
I'm on
Medicaid,
Medicaid.
you receive
Okay.
some type of service to your medical providers.
And then what do I have to show you? What application do I have to fill out?
It's just the
How do I tell you?
the Medical Assistance Transportation Program application. There's one application, you sign that, and that is the only time you ever have to complete an application. Now, if you do have a disability and you're under the age of 65, you do have to submit the ADA application and also the PWD application. Those are two other programs for under 65. If you're a senior 65 and over, you do the senior share ride application plus the medical assistance.
Oh, okay, so there's like one application that has that
Yes.
on it, and then I would like check off
Yes.
maybe both of those if I'm interested.
Correct.
Because I probably don't know what I'm
Right.
checking off.
If they-
At the time I'm doing it, I'm just going, sure, I want to be eligible for all
Right,
of
well,
it.
if you go and use Find My Ride, apply Find My Ride, it asks you questions and
Okay.
directs you to the proper applications that you want to complete.
So on the BARTA site?
Yes,
Which
that-
is, again, tell us?
It's bartabus.com.
And then I could just put in Find My Ride.
There is actually a link right there when
Oh,
you get
okay.
into the website. You will see that. You just click on that, and that takes you right into the state
Okay.
program.
And I'm sure all of the information is on there as far
Yes.
as
It'll ask
if
questions,
I'm
first your
appropriate, I can
age,
read
right?
to say it's my age, if I'm not doing this, if I don't have that, if I'm on Medicaid or not. Yeah, okay.
Right, it asks you all those questions, first what county you live in, so it goes to the right county, because you wouldn't want your application going to another county.
That's true. We forget sometimes those simple things,
Yeah.
that we, they might write, I live in Reading.
Yes.
Or I've had where the county word has been confused with country. And
Well, there's a
you would say-
drop-down menu there, so it is helpful.
all right.
It's very easy to, maneuver.
Now, speaking of county, so I'm going to stay with that a second. We have a big county and very rural and everything. If they live close to all of the borders, wherever that be, north, south, east, and west of Berks County to the next county. And maybe I should have asked this back on the fixed route or any of these where we are. How can I go from, if I am, I'll give an example. I think we have some folks that in our agency that we've assessed that are living in Myerstown, but say they're Berks County, but maybe they're going to the Lebanon VA or, right over in Myerstown, Lebanon County is a doctor. Where do they fit in?
Well, we're very
Can they go there?
We're very fortunate that we can travel 10 miles outside of the county of Berks and Lancaster.
Okay.
So the VA in Lebanon is fine. We go to Hershey. We go to Pottstown. There's a dialysis center
Okay,
down there.
all right.
So we are allowed for anybody over 65 that does not have Medicaid. We can travel
Okay.
10 miles outside of both county lines. Now, if you have Medicaid,
Yes.
we can travel further.
Oh, okay.
We are actually going down to Philly in Berks County every day of the week.
Wow.
There's people that have to go down there for dialysis and things like that. So with Medicaid, you can go farther. If you do not have Medicaid, we can only stay the 10-mile radius outside of the two counties.
Okay, well, that's great.
Yep.
All right. Anything else before I move on to from the Medical Assistance Transportation Program that you wanted to share that I didn't?
No, I
didn't ask
think
or
you
didn't
hit
cover?
it.
Okay. And then I saw something else on all the information. There was like an ADA Americans with Disabilities Act and then the Persons with Disabilities Program, or the PWD. So are they different? Are they the same? What are the distinctions? And then how does that fit into all these other programs?
Well, Americans with Disability Act, that came into effect in 1990, 90 or 91, where we have to operate the same days, times, and hours, as the fixed route does. We have to have a paratransit service that, for Saturdays, for Sundays, evenings, we have to run for consumers that cannot ride that regular bus because of their disability.
Okay.
So that is a program for anybody under the age of 65.
Okay.
Now, if a senior does apply and they live within the 3/4 mile of the bus route and going within 3/4 mile of bus route, they still qualify for that ADA service. We don't have them fill out the ADA, the senior application, and the PWD. So I just wanted to clarify that. With the persons with disability, that's for more rural. So you have somebody that lives in Boyertown. There is no regular bus service down there. But they do qualify for ADA. They do have a disability. Because of where they live, that's not going to help them. So the PWD is to help them with a discounted rate. So they come into Boyertown, we bring them into, Reading, say they want to, go over to the Berkshire Mall. So that falls under the Persons with Disability Act. They will get a cheaper ride under that. It helps, it's a discount that PennDOT helps pay. So then from the Berkshire Mall, they want to go over to Broadcasting. Now that becomes an ADA trip, because they're going where the fixed route buses operate and the times.
Oh my,
so that's why we always encourage everybody under the age of 65,
Right.
do the ADA application. If you're 18 to 64, also do the persons with disability.
Okay, because you might be
Correct.
eligible, qualifying for
Right.
both of
You-
those.
depending on how you're going to travel that given day, you might fall under
Yeah.
both of those
Okay.
criteria.
I'm thinking, what hit me was, right up the road here is the Santander Arena.
Yes.
And so looking at, thinking the outlier who wants to come in for a hockey game. Is it operating, since it's sort of operating, I'm assuming there's evening buses, so if it's operating at the same time, somebody out in Birdsboro, Boyertown, whatever, who wants to come for a hockey game that fits that criteria could get there, but maybe not home, huh?
Well, right, exactly.
Now that I said that, I'm thinking, I don't know if they could get home.
If they would live here in Reading, and then they definitely could, because your bus service runs till
Yes,
10:30
yes.
at night. If
Okay.
you're in the Reading area, West Reading area, and some of the Wyatt Missing area, they could definitely get into a hockey game.
Okay.
But not Boyertown.
Okay. I was just thinking, maybe that could, okay. I was like trying to figure it out for them, okay. And so what, in terms of clarifying, maybe you said this, I apologize, what documentation do I need? What, for the disability? What do I have to show? What do I have to do other than just filling out information that says this is?
On the applications for the ADA and PWD, there is a disability verification form where a professional has to complete that for them.
Okay, okay,
That has to be signed definitely by a professional verifying that they have a disability.
okay. All right, thank you. Is there anything that I missed in terms of other services, or anything that are we expanding those or looking at other types of things?
Well, one good thing, like I said about the Apply, Find My Ride, PennDOT is now starting, we're in the test of it. It's called Find My Ride Schedule, where our passengers will have their client ID number. They can log into the system. They can check on their rides to see where the driver's at. They can cancel, then they can schedule trips. If they're within, we're going to stick with going with consumers in the ADA area. So that's something new that we're looking forward to. Hopefully by the end of July that will be up and running, and we'll have that link then also on our website.
Oh, good.
And have the drivers start handing out brochures and post stuff in the vehicles.
Nice.
So to let everybody know when it's up and running. 'Cause
Good.
we're anxiously waiting for that.
Sounds good. So all of this, Vicki, can you tell us how we find what's the best way to go, or if I have questions, can I call BARTA?
You can call our office at 610-921-2361 or visit our website at bartabus.com.
And we'll have everything there on there that will be able to help me maneuver whether I'm needing this application or that, why I'm
Absolutely.
looking for this or that, or have somebody to talk to if I'm still confused. All right. Well, I'm going to wrap it up. Anything else? One last, either Greg or Vicki, in terms of what else we may have missed, or one other thing that you wanted to make sure we emphasized with everybody?
Well, I'll say that with the state, we have been working hand in hand with the state regarding the access to getting people more access, for them knowing where buses are, and that's what I'll say our key word is, access. Whether it's mobile ticketing coming on shared ride vehicles, whether it's Find My Ride, the program that PennDOT is sponsoring and we're using to give people the ability to track rides, to be able to schedule rides, to be able to cancel rides. All of those things are all under the umbrella of access. And that's what I'd like for us to leave the program with, is that we are trying to promote and provide more and more access for our people.
Terrific, terrific. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you, Greg and Vicki, for sharing the information about all of the services that are available here, particularly in Berks County and through the South Central Transit Authority. So thank you all for tuning in to Aging Matters.